Welcome to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. If you would like to know the price, simply click on the link in the description below. If you enjoy our videos, we greatly appreciate it if you would buy a watch at JazzTime.com, which is why we make these videos on a Saturday afternoon while you're at home watching YouTube, deciding which expensive Rolex you want to buy. So please, if you're going to buy it, please come to JazzTime.com and not someone else. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the Rolex Datejust 36 reference 126234 blue index white gold fluted bezel on Jubilee bracelet. I'm going to talk to you guys about the case, the bezel, the dial, the bracelet, the buckle, the movement, try it on, and give you my thoughts. Let's dive right in. This is an Oyster 36mm. Rolex calls this material oyster steel in white gold, also known as white Rollesor, also known as stainless steel. Now they call it steel in white gold. It's the reason it is because this case here that my finger is pointing to is all steel. In fact, all of it is steel except for the bezel, which is made of white gold. And because of that, Rolex calls this watch white Rollesor, or calls the material of this steel and white gold, because it, as you see, has white gold on the bezel. But really, the watch is stainless steel. I mean, most of the watch is stainless steel. 90% of the watch is steel. Now, it has an Oyster case 36mm from my thumb to my index finger. Rolex currently makes the Datejust line in either 36 or 40 millimeter, or 41 millimeter. Now, for men, you can either wear the larger 41 millimeter or you could wear the 36 millimeter. Now, women, on the other hand, have three options. They can either choose 28, 31, or 36. So this watch could be worn either for a woman who has a larger wrist or likes larger watches, or a man who has smaller wrists or likes smaller watches. Okay, now let's move on to, as I told you earlier, this watch is stainless steel and it's using a monoblock middle case with a screw down case back and winding crown. What that means is this case right here is a monoblock piece of steel. In fact, it's the hardest steel and very scratch resistant and anti-corrosive 904L steel. Okay, now I said I'd talk about the bezel. As I alluded to earlier, this bezel is fluted. It has these little markings here, kind of like serrated edges, kind of like a knife edge or something, or like a coin edge, and it's white gold, as in white Rollesor combination. Anyways, it's white gold. Okay, let's move on. And that's actually the most iconic part of Rolex. This fluted bezel is probably the most eye-catching and iconic. If anybody sees this fluted bezel, they instantly know that it's a Rolex. And it used to be used for keeping water pressure, but now they don't do that. It's purely aesthetic. At one point it was had a functional use, but now it's just become a symbol of Rolex. Nobody else does it except Rolex, so yeah, it's pretty awesome. Now let's talk about the dial. What is special about this dial? Well, nothing. It's just blue. Now Rolex makes their Datejusts with many different dial configurations, this one being blue, and some people think that blue is difficult to get, and it is if you're not Jazz Time. And if you want to buy this watch in blue, please go to JazzTime.com and buy it at our website. Or you can click on the link in the description below. I want to bring your attention to a few things on this dial. It's, as you see, blue, and it has luminescence. And what are one of the benefits of it being luminescent? It's that at nighttime you can actually read your watch. If that's not important to you, you could get it in, you don't have to get it with the index dial, you can get it with Roman dial or with diamonds, but in this configuration, you can actually see what it looks like at night. I don't have my flashlight here, but anyways, you see these white markers? They luminesce at night. Okay, now let's talk about the movement here. The movement is using the newer 3235 movement with a precision of plus minus 2 seconds a day and a power reserve of 70 hours. Now the older version 116234 has the older movement 3135, which has a smaller power reserve of 50 hours. This one, being the modern movement, has a longer power reserve of 70 hours. Okay, now let's talk about the bracelet here. The bracelet is a Jubilee bracelet. It has 5-piece links across. As you might notice, as I'm trying to show you, it's high polish down the center, 3 links, with brush polish down the edges, and it's a Jubilee bracelet. They also make it in an Oyster bracelet, which is 3-piece link. This one is a Jubilee. Now, let's talk about the clasp. It's a folding Oyster clasp with Easy Link 5mm comfort extension. How does it close? Like this, and simply close it shut. Now the 5mm comfort extension is here. That makes it 5mm larger. Now, what is cool about this newer version? Well, the older version, the older Datejust 36, did not have this comfort extension, 5mm, so that when your hand got hot or larger or expanded, you could not size it. Now you can. Secondly, the newer version, which is the one I have in my hand, has a newer movement. It's like having a bigger, better motor. Thirdly, the case on the newer Datejust has thinner lugs. It's more streamlined. So that is quite a big difference. And they do different dial configurations. They used to do a whole bunch of different dial configurations, actually all these kind of wonky looking dials. Now they only do several, and those are all on jazztime.com. Okay, I said I'd give you my thoughts, and my thoughts are that, you know, initially people loved to wear 41mm large watches, but more and more the trend is going back to smaller watches, as in 36. Now I'm an average man with obviously above average intelligence, but you see my wrist and this watch fits just perfect. It's a 36mm. It doesn't look too big, it doesn't look too small, it really just looks right. So if you don't have very large wrists, then you might want to consider a 36mm. Now before, when big watches were the huge craze, everybody wanted a bigger watch, but people soon realized that, well, bigger watches are cumbersome and they don't really want a big watch to wear every single day. So the 36s have made a comeback. So if you like this watch, I suggest you go to jazztime.com. And I also think, you know, that with the Jubilee bracelet and in this configuration, Jubilee with fluted bezel, it's really the best combination. It's unmistakably Rolex. And for the price tag of around something like $8,000 or so, you know, it's just a really good bargain. It's a very robust watch. It has a very beautiful dial color, and it has all the classic signs of Rolex because it is a Rolex. So I think for the price, it's a great watch.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.